Fred. Tonight we are so honored to have with us Lieutenant Governor Peter Kinder. Peter Kinder was elected Missouri's 46th Lieutenant Governor on November 2nd, 2004, carrying 91 of Missouri's 114 counties. Born and raised in Cape Girardeau, Kinder attended Cape Girardeau Public Schools and continued his education at Southeast Missouri State University and the University of Missouri-Columbia. He graduated from St. Mary's University School of Law in San Antonio. In 1979, he was admitted to the Missouri Bar. Lieutenant Governor Kinder was instrumental in passing the 2006 Assisted Living Bill, a top priority of multiple senior advocacy organizations. Kinder has led the fight for veterans issues. On March 7th, and this is why we invited him here today, his office announced that Peter Kinder would proceed with plans to file suit challenging the recently signed federal health care bill. The Lieutenant Governor also announced that he will seek private funding for the legal challenge. Peter is the one Missouri state official who is willing to stand up to this gross exploitation of power by the federal government. Please welcome Peter Kinder.
Thank you. Thank you. What a magnificent crowd here at the St. Louis Tea Party. Give yourselves a round of applause. I'll speak about the lawsuit in a minute. Thank you, Jim, for that more than kind introduction. You know what, folks? Over the last 15 months, it has gradually become apparent. Many things have gradually become apparent. One of them is that the defining issue of our time is that a fundamental assault on our freedom is transforming this country into something that is unrecognizable from the country you and I grew up in and loved. And I for one, am proud to attend so many of these tea parties, none with this large a crowd, to stand with you for taking back our liberty as Americans. This is not a partisan issue. We welcome Democrats and Republicans and independents to our banner, all freedom-loving Missourians. Let me tell you what one of the main defining moments was. Think back to last summer and the wave of town hall meetings that surprised so many incumbents at the message that they were hearing from the rising army of constitutionalists who came out of the woodwork and who rose up from the grassroots to make their case. And I have in mind one in particular. Senator McCaskill held a town hall meeting. Senator McCaskill held a meeting south of here in Jefferson County. I believe it was in Hillsboro. I was in the office and I had the TV on with the sound turned down, but I turned it up to hear this part where a young Marine stood up and challenged her on the Constitution. And she was taking such heat from one speaker after another. She finally, in total exasperation, said to the crowd, "What's wrong? Don't you trust us?" Ladies and gentlemen, the answer to Claire McCaskill's question is not supplied by me. It was supplied by James Madison and Thomas Jefferson and the founders of this country. And Jefferson, and 2 days ago I was speaking to a smaller crowd of like-minded folks in front of the statue of Thomas Jefferson, for whom our state capitol is named, on the steps of our state capitol. And I said, that Jefferson supplied the answer. No, Senator McCaskill, no to anyone currently in office. We do not trust you. Jefferson said, we bind you down with the chains of the Constitution. And in that regard, and that is what the heart of my lawsuit will be about. I spent an hour today on the phone with my legal team. You're going to be proud when you hear the name that we roll out next week who will be leading the legal team.
Thank you.
We are going to, we believe, allege unique legal constitutional claims that are not being alleged in the Florida lawsuit, and God bless them. And I say to Florida Attorney General Bill McCollum, go get them. And we don't think they will be alleged either in the Virginia case. There's a case being brought by the Attorney General of Virginia, and God bless him. But we're filing right here in the Eastern District of Missouri, and we're going to have a lawsuit you can be proud of. Now, let me tell you just a little bit about it. Never before in 234 years of American history has the federal government ever presumed to say that we command every American citizen to buy a product in the private marketplace. I was so glad to hear Fred Sauer evoke the stirring words of the Declaration of Independence. One of my main heroes, Abraham Lincoln, said, I have never had a thought about government and politics that did not derive from the Declaration of Independence. It is right and proper that we should be referred back to that document. But here is what they're saying now, ladies and gentlemen. The constitutional pretext, phony as it is, for Obamacare is the Commerce Clause to the U.S. Constitution. Now, if Anheuser-Busch buys a load of steel from a Pennsylvania steel company, that is interstate commerce. But if you are living and breathing and living your life in a town in Missouri, and you refuse to buy health insurance as mandated by the new federal law, that is not interstate commerce, and it is time to stand up and say so in court. Let me tell you why. If we were to surrender that principle and say that the Interstate Commerce Clause allows Congress to reach all of us as private citizens when we're not otherwise engaged in interstate commerce, if we surrender that principle, there is no limiting principle to what the federal government and a misguided Congress could do to any of us. And so I have humbly accepted this responsibility of bringing the lawsuit in the name of Missourians determined to protect our liberty to choose our own health care and make our own health care choices. I asked two things. I asked for your prayers, and I need those, because every left-wing blog and every left-wing website attacked me fiercely last week when I stood up and said this, and again 2 days ago. And I also have a website. I have a website where you can go, and I'm privately financing this lawsuit, as you heard. Not a nickel of taxpayer money. I'm not asking for big donations. I'm asking for numbers of donations. This is a David against Goliath thing. We're a lot of little Davids, and we can prevail in this contest. Send me $5, $10, $25, $50, or $100. I'm not asking for big checks, whatever you can afford. We have a website, and I've got folks circulating among the crowd with handbills, handouts. The website is healthcareinaction.com. Healthcareinaction.com. There is a button, a donation button on there. Folks, Patrick Henry, one of my great heroes, said in that Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death speech, he said, the race is not always to the swift, nor the battle to the strong. It is to the vigilant, the active, the brave. Let's be all of those things, and we will prevail.